Good evening, everyone. I'd like to welcome you to the July 15th Unionville Town Board meeting. We'll open with a salute to the flag, and if I can ask you all to remain standing after that, I'd like to recognize someone. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States to the republic which stands one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, last week, community member of Beekman, lifelong community member of Beekman, Ruth Hogan passed away just shy of 102 years old. Everyone knew her, and I'll have more on that later, but I'd just like to have a moment of silence in her honor, please. Thank you. Okay, I'd like to have a motion from the board to move the RTCIC presentation right to the front of the meeting, please. Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you. So I'd like to introduce Sheriff Clerk Imperati and District Attorney Anthony Parisi to give us a presentation here on how they're incorporating technology into their crime fighting efforts. I'll allow you guys to introduce the remainder of your team. Floor is yours. Just step up there. Might need the mic. Yeah, sorry, just need you the microphone there.
Thank you everyone for having us tonight. Obviously, my name is Anthony Parisi. I'm your district attorney. I'm here with your sheriff, Clerk Imperati, and with us, Chief Deputy Steve Riveri, my chief assistant, Mike Brady, and my chief investigator, Jeffrey Wright. And we certainly appreciate the opportunity to be here tonight to talk to you about ARTCIC and the technology that we're implementing throughout to make our community safe. Just a quick bit about myself. I was born and raised here in Dutchess County. I actually grew up in Millbrook, a town in Washington, not too far from here. Now I live in the town of Beekman, again, not too far from here. And I can tell you, I've been in law enforcement for almost 30 years, and public safety is my top priority, and I know it's Sheriff Imperati's top priority as well. We take it very seriously. We take keeping these communities safe. We have families who work and live in these communities, and we're very serious about keeping our communities safe. I want to tell you about ARTCIC tonight, and this is a project that really starts many years ago. So back in 2004, a group was started called the Dutchess County Field Intelligence Group, and every single founding member of that group is in this room here tonight, starting with our sheriff, Chief Deputy Riveri, Chief Investigator Wright, and myself. And I want to tell you what that is. The Dutchess County Field Intelligence Group was a group that brought together every single agency in Dutchess County to meet weekly and talk about crime, and talk about the crime that was currently happening in Dutchess County. And that was never happening before. One thing that we know and knew at that time is that crime does not respect jurisdictional boundaries. Crime does not know jurisdictions. Crime doesn't stay in the town of Poughkeepsie, doesn't stay in the city of Poughkeepsie, doesn't stay in the town of Unionville. It crosses from town to town to town, and the criminals cross from town. So we as law enforcement, we had to come together, and we needed to share intelligence, share information, and cooperate collectively in order to thankfully, One of the reasons present is district funding developing. We've tried to do that. And we would love that. Love to hear your thoughts, positive, or whether they're negative. We will. Part of this, we actually
we have a tremendous working relationship. Anthony and I have been in this for years. 14 under sheriff. I premise. Sharing. Camera system showing us. We were cameras that we have access. Right now, people wearing blue jeans, gray down Park, New York State Park Police, they're bent down. Drone is dispatch team, able to dispatch information to our fire departments and the local PDs that were responding, as well as the sheriff's office, and give them the location of the fires, the hot spots, etc. Then we were able to dispatch our deputies that were able to put drones up from their vehicles to help the fire department fight that. These are all different things that the real-time crime center can do for us and do for our community. It's about protecting each and every one, preventing crime, preventing tragedies, solving crime, prosecuting the criminals that need to be. It's a tremendous program. Took me a little while because I'm the old guy in the group, and you know, embracing technology. I'll be honest with you, artificial intelligence, but such a value that you have to change. As I said, I want to be better each and every day. Want to better serve real-time crime center and the district attorney and myself at the Dutchess County Sheriff's Office, the team that we work with. Nobody better, and we're ahead of the curve. We're going to be put on the national level with this program because nobody in the country is doing what we're doing. But with that, hand it over to Chief Deputy Riveri, and he's going to start the presentation. Thank you.
Sure. What's great working with this project, have elected talk about responsibility, doing a project like this with technology. So we're going to go through it together, really highlight everything. Next mission is simple. Ways that do that is by actually being a silent witness. By that is data and go with the go to out knowledge. Well, be analysts, support staff that we started, talk about it a lot, given badge on radio and a map. The over was by radio throughout that. Now we're doing oh, they up getting that quick simple down. Five. Out of the first verification. Here, like, example, relationship. Transparent. Back. Out. They cover here. Yep. Yep. Done. Yep. Uh, 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 what I think right now is the doc out of the Exactly where they're going.
So thank you to Chief Deputy Riveri, Chief Investigator Wright for putting this presentation together. They do an outstanding job. They're the ones that embrace this technology and get it going. And when they brief me on these things, Anthony's very good with the technology aspect as well. Hey, this is great. Oh, cow. Does a lot of amazing things. But again, this is such a great project. This is such a great initiative because we have nearly 300,000 residents in Dutchess County. And our number one goal is to protect each and every one of you, protect your families, improve your way of life, protect the way we live here in Dutchess County. We're very fortunate with the cooperation that we have with all law enforcement, and we're extremely fortunate to have a proactive district attorney. Anthony has done more in his 3 years as district attorney than I've seen a district attorney do in my 34 years at the sheriff's office. And I can't thank him enough and his staff for what they do because they're so forward thinking and we're on the same page. And the work that they're doing, they're at full staff at the district attorney's office for the first time in 30 plus years. That's amazing because that's going to better serve our community and help us in law enforcement prosecute these cases and bring these criminals to justice. District Attorney?
Thank you, everyone. Does anyone have any questions? We actually usually get quite a few questions on this project. Obviously, we want to. Has anyone gotten questions from any of?
I don't think that our residents were aware of this program, which is why I invited you out here, and plus for the board members to see it. They made a presentation at last month. Supervisor enough and informative enough to invite them out here. Once opportunity to read their handouts, I'd like to go back and offer our resource partner what we can offer, but we certainly want to work with you.
Sure, no. The areas, and I do want to touch on it. A lot of questions. Reality is that you are politically there. And yep, again, that's the goal. We're not deploying significant cameras out in the frankly, that video that's already readily available, leveraged by long. A big part of this project that there's reality is I don't imagine that ability to give us. Frankly, we've been able to get large districts here in the board. That that reality is criminals are using people are using this is about watching fighting neighbors, watching out and the project, this center. So again, we welcome questions. If community members have questions, feel free to send them our way. We'd be happy to talk to them. We'd be happy to meet with them. We've met with many people. We've met with many press organizations. We'd be more than happy to. We are completely transparent that relating. We are not trying to hide anything. We'll tell you about the technology, tell you what it does, we'll tell you what it doesn't do. And I guarantee you that when we do that, you'll see the benefit. One thing I can tell you, having been law enforcement for almost 30 years, having handled literally thousands of cases, once you're a victim, you'll appreciate what this does. You'll appreciate how this our community. And when we hand you this briefing document, there's actually a case study of the city of where most of our resources have been deployed for ARTCIC so far. It's been a 40% reduction in violence. That says a lot. So take a look at the project, and like I said, welcome the feedback. We want our communities to embrace it. We want the people we serve to embrace it. And I think if they understand it, we're able to explain it, everyone will embrace it. At least those who are law-abiding citizens. So please, if you do have questions, reach out to myself, Sheriff, more than happy. Yes.
When you put in your other three drones into service, are they gonna operate as backup, or will they increase your 3.5 mile radius?
No, they will be in different areas. So they will operate in different areas throughout the county. In fact, the technology with respect to DFR is expanding. Again, with technology, it's really cost driven. So the next step for drones is fixed wings, which has a significantly broader range. What is it, 15 miles now, Steve? Well beyond that. So that really is the next step. Our goal is to have full DFR coverage county. within the next 2 years, I would say. And you know, the benefit of law enforcement. And again, don't just think of public safety as crime, right? This goes far beyond public safety as we think of in the traditional sense. Weather-related events, events involving, you know, elderly individuals, and we've responded to those in the past who, you know, have dementia. And the technology is incredible. It's an incredible tool to bring successful ending to cases in the past that really had bad ending. And one last thing I want to say, especially about automated license. One of our goals in Dutchess County in the past, Steve told you this, LPRs aren't new technology. They've been around for years. But our goal recently has been to provide perimeter coverage for Dutchess County. And when I say that, I don't mean an LPR on every single road going into Dutchess County or going out of it. As you know, we can place an LPR so that it does cover every bit of traffic that might be coming. We have succeeded in doing that. And one thing that I'll tell you, because this is real technology that can make a real difference. And it's one of the things that I respond with when someone questions having automated license. First time a child is abducted, and we're able to stop that, save that child, because time matters in those cases, this will all be worth it. And I don't care who you are, you won't be able to argue. Because most of those cases don't end well. And that's something that I can't live with, and I know the sheriff. So we truly, truly believe making our community safer, and this project will do that. So again, I thank you for this opportunity, and again, we welcome any questions.
Just to add, just real quick, this evening I'm driving out here and I receive a detective division, a couple detectives working on you hear how there's larcenies of cooking oil from restaurants in the areas. You've heard about that happen. When the LaGrange area, we were able to reach out to some business owners because they've been having their cooking oil stolen from them because each month somebody comes around, picks it up, and they get paid for recycling the cooking oil. So it's a rather profitable business and a typical crime that we've been dealing with for a number of years. But the business owners at the strip mall, we gained access and asked them for access to their cameras. And they said, well, we heard about this real-time crime center. Would we be able to hook into that and into your system? And we're like, we can come into an agreement with you to give us access to your cameras. And by utilizing artificial intelligence, that would be a hotspot, as Chief Deputy Riveri was talking about. And then artificial intelligence would alert us and view that camera to see that there was a crime that was occurring. And they were so frustrated because, boy, we wish we knew about this earlier. So that's a partnership with local business people of how this can affect them and help them prevent them from being victims of crime. Also, just to touch on school safety, we have the best school resource officer program in New York State at the Sheriff's Office. I have 14 deputy sheriffs assigned to 8 different school districts in Dutchess County. We're both girl dads. Mine are older. Mine are 26 and 30. Anthony's are a little younger, a lot younger, but all of us being parents. You know, the good old days when you asked a child where they felt safest besides home, they would say school. They don't say that today. And that really hits home to both of us. And we want to bring that back. So when our kids go to school, we want them to feel safe. We want them to be in an environment that's conducive to learning, and they don't have to worry about attacks. They don't have to worry about being harmed. And we're dedicated to that by adding to our school resource officer program, by working together to protect our children. And it's just access to the exterior cameras of the building, just so artificial intelligence can alert us when somebody's coming towards that building and they may have a weapon. These are all different things of embracing technology, utilizing that to keep us all safe and prevent tragedies.
Yeah. But- Well, that mentioned the pilot. And so I assume the end goal. Okay. Time expected, or is it? Does it vary based on multiple?
All of the above. All of the above. So
In other high value targets, I imagine, probably looking for the highest value.
absolutely. Yes. Exactly.
Right.
Not surprised.
And there's a variety of funding sources out there to help those districts with those funding sources. Most importantly, the private, whether, that may struggle raising funds to implement a security program and a camera system. So we meet with the private schools as well, trying to help them upgrade and get grants for them for their safety programs, whether it's at places of worship, that place, these are all things. And even summer camps, right? We have a lot of summer camps that are here in Dutchess County and working with those people too, just to make sure that everybody's being safe. And we've received a tremendous positive response from our colleges and universities in Dutchess County. So, people take for granted, we have Vassar College, Park College, Dutchess Community College, Culinary Institute of America, and Marist University, my alma mater, when it was good old Marist College. But very positive response from them and everybody really willing to be on board with this project. So we were pleasantly surprised with that response and positivity with that. And if we can get the local school districts on board, it's just another step in the right direction.
Pretty lofty project, but really sounds incredible. Sounds like you guys are gaining momentum. That's a big thing probably for you guys. That being as transparent as you are willing to be will help get there.
Any other questions, comments? Snide remark?
I think it's great.
We'll take them all.
You got it. Well, thank you very much, everybody. You have a great
We
evening.
sure appreciate you coming out and all the efforts that you put into this. Thank you.
Thank you.
We're going to take a brief intermission here, just so our AV guy can reset, and we'll pick up in a few moments. Okay, folks. We're ready to resume the meeting here? Okay, motion to approve the minutes from June 17th, please.
Make a motion.
A second? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, thank you. It was, wasn't it? I'd like to make an amendment to the agenda, add a discussion of the overhead door at the recycle center to new business. Have
Make that motion.
second? Second. All in favor? Opposed? Okay, thank you. I want to thank Mike Marr and Kevin McGivney for working so diligently on the Hometown Hero project. I had started working with that, but just I couldn't keep up with everything else that was happening here in town, and Kevin offered to take that over. Also like to thank the Unionville Fire Company for sponsoring so many banners. The company, what was New England Property Maintenance helped us out with the bucket truck. And the Mid-County Rod and Gun Club for managing the banner orders. They really scrambled to get these up for our Independence Day and got them done just under the wire. Really want to thank everybody that was involved. Everybody's aware of the July 4th storm that came through and raised havoc with us. I want to thank Highway Department for their efforts in getting the town road cleared within hours of the event. The only places they couldn't work is where wires were involved in the trees that were blocking the roads. And that's for safety purposes. They aren't permitted to do that. That's falls to Central Hudson. But they were out there on a holiday evening and got the roads open within hours. We were in constant contact with the Dutchess County Emergency Response Center and Central Hudson. They gave us progress updates on restoration that we posted on the Facebook page to keep everybody as informed as we could. And special thanks then to all the linesmen that came in to our town from, both from Central Hudson and from other companies, some as far away as Ohio and Canada, to restore power to the residents. I know it was a lengthy outage for some. Reports that were given to me that this is the worst storm that we've had since the early 1980s as far as damage to the electric. I mentioned previously Ruth Hogan. I knew her as Mrs. Hogan, and she passed away almost just before her 102nd birthday. She was a well-known and loved community member and was instrumental in founding the Beekman Rescue Squad. She served as a school nurse at elementary school and was there when I started school in kindergarten. We all knew her as Mrs. Hogan. She has numerous other achievements in her life and will be dearly missed. With that, I will turn it over to Councilman Rediger. Anything to report?
Should have been. Central Hudson.
Okay, I will add to what he just mentioned. Central Hudson came back and reported that they had 101 poles that were broken. That's a record number, any event that they had to replace. And you can just imagine the work that's involved to replace one pole, multiply that 101 times. That was, why we were out for the night. We were, Councilman Harrington?
Yeah, I just want to echo the same thing. What a problem with getting everything restored quick is areas far south, Canadian Jersey, we devastated. Long Island was hit hard. Cross the river was hit hard. So normally those places that send help to us, environment, they couldn't even get enough help themselves. So the help to get here as quick as it did, I think it made the achievement. Been a long time since we were out of both order, sell, anything.
Okay, thank you,
Just
Councilman.
have one more tiny thing about that.
Sure.
The weather stuff. There was a station, 587 mile an hour. Cloud. Severe thunderstorm warning 60. So to have a station be lucky enough to have a reliable station, not in winds. That means that winds certainly quite a bit higher than that. That's equivalent.
Councilman Derlin?
Not much to report other than I'll just agree with everybody else.
Okay. Councilman McGivney?
I'd just like to echo some of the things that Steve said with the hometown hero. Privilege to be involved. I would like to also thank town resident Mike Marr for helping me get this project off. I'd like to thank our tax collector, ASAC, for making the connection with Hudson, Dun and Rod. That actually, our department for providing traffic the 2 days that hung the banners. In the by the 4th of July. Very nice. Most importantly, I'd like to thank all of our local veterans and active duty military members.
Thank you. Town clerk report.
Again, a reminder to the residents. Great.
Okay, thank you. Highway Superintendent.
The West Clove Mountain Bridge. Going to limit the that several year storm event that eroded around the exit head wall of the bridge. We have one lane open now. Completely closed it or limit.
Oh, yeah.
Here.
He delivered. Dirt all the way down.
Okay, thank you. We have a captive attorney here. Um, the project on North Parliament Road. He showed me the quotes. The numbers are in the area where we need 3 written quotes, but the low quote is through the contractor that is on the Dutchess County contract list. Do we need to go forward with the third quote? It's the county bid list, and they distribute it then to the municipalities to piggyback on.
If it's a big back, then proper bid.
That would certainly, shorten the time.
Send me the information, I'll double check. I always like to
Absolutely.
double check, make.
Right.
Presuming it's the county, it's not what it is.
Yeah, no, this is,
It should be.
right,
fine.
right.
but-
We typically do this annually, and use many of the vendors.
If it's on a county site, keep
Okay, we'll confirm that with you. Thank you. Okay. So animal control, I haven't received. County legislator had a prior commitment for tonight. Public comment on agenda items? Anyone? Okay. New business, we covered the ARTCIC presentation. I put in your folders there a quotation from Dutchess Overhead Doors. We learned during the power outage that Recycle Center didn't have any method to open the overhead door on their storage barn there and couldn't get the loader out. So I had Dutchess Overhead come out and look at it, and he's come up with a plan here that would ease that. Includes relocating the release mechanism for the motorized opener and further balancing the door so that it doesn't take so much effort to lift. You have that quote here. As it's my understanding that Dutchess Overhead is the exclusive vendor for particular brands of doors, and that is one of the brands that we have. I can't, in the past, I haven't been able to get other vendors to look at it because of that situation.
send me the information, evaluate it.
Right.
And
Okay. Very good. Okay, that brings us to old business. Rightly software. I'm gonna suggest that we table this. And I was approached by department heads last, at the 11th hour here, who have some reservations about, uh, moving into the software. I certainly, am a proponent of it, but if the department heads aren't comfortable using it, then it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of sense, in getting it at this time. Perhaps I can have them work with, the vendor, to get more details themselves and revisit this at some date or not. But at this point, I'd like to suggest that we table it. Any motion on that?
So
All in favor of that? Opposed? Okay, thank you. Okay, I sent you all a first draft of the, proposal for firewood harvesting on town properties. You have a copy of it there. I didn't know if anybody had any, changes or additional suggestions they'd like to make to this. I had hoped to have a map for you, but we weren't able to get that together, the locations that considering allowing.
Ian,
Okay. Yeah. I think I would get Or, so. Negate that. Let's develop this. Take all those facts.
Yeah, that was something we need to discuss with the attorney.
Yeah, you're gonna want a waiver and application. No.
you could hear what I was saying, or
Um, uh, yes, we would have levels of waiver indemnification forms. We would, insurance requirements potentially, and how this gets done. We'd have to navigate that to make sure the town is protected and that. Go wrong. I'll wait for other comments. I did look at this. I have a couple comments that I'll just throw out to the board, get something that they can think about as we further develop the.
I don't really have any other comment. I think we should do it if it doesn't cost us a ton of money to make that, right?
Yeah.
Not too prohibitive.
Right.
You know.
Yeah,
like
it's just
insurance from
unfortunate
a-
that things aren't like they
I know.
were 30 years
I
ago
know.
and just say, go ahead and do it.
Yeah, it's annoying. When you start thinking it through, you're just
Yeah, you
like,
gotta
forget
protect
it.
ourselves at this
But, yeah.
point. Yeah.
Oh, some of the things that. If there's violations, should have penalties. Penalties assigned to that, keep people. Talks about downed trees and it talked about not cutting a tree. What about those benefits? halfway down. Right? Yeah, the ones that are.
Those are the ones that are most dangerous
Correct,
for
right.
someone inexperienced to cut. Yeah,
Absolutely, or even experience, really.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a lot of variables with those, so
right.
that should be something that you may want to consider because you're looking at management of risk throughout all of
Right.
this, and if that is the case, then probably more towards just something. The map was a question I had, and Steve answered that. So, and the fact that we're basically taking it out of summer months, I think are good, that people active. And that's no idea. So some of those concepts, things that and then just the mechanics of it, yeah. Building part, schedule. Yeah, seem to be mentioned in here a little bit. But those are
I know previously the permits were issued by the parks manager. I don't think that's a bad idea. That he can show map and also guide anyone if necessary. I'm not really into collecting fee. Coming here to try and save eating. Yeah, the homes. I do believe that it should only be good for the season that apply for, which would be late 1 year, extending into early part of the following year. Would that season only reapply the following season and turn.
One question.
I will work with the parks. I'm not sure that one has any access.
kindling.
Yeah, I'm not sure that
Yeah.
there's ready access to that property either. We will come up with a list of
That's
of-
true, right?
of areas. Right. Yeah, we'll come up with a list that we feel are areas that are safe. And I don't think that one is. Any other questions on that?
Want to add, somebody said protect ourselves. Is protect the resident. They assume. Residents.
Right.
Not just.
Well, no, yeah, by
Us
extension,
being the town,
yeah, by the extension, we represent the residents, so. Okay. I would like to defer the on to executive session. Agenda, whether we would be discussing this or not, but the attorney has suggested that we move that to executive session at the contract under negotiation. Yeah, oh yeah, no, I'm planning to do executive session at where it's
At the end?
scheduled, yeah, but I just would like to move this down to that point.
Yeah, I would.
Make the motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, thank you. I was hoping to have further information on the parks tractor. I looked into leasing, lease to purchase. Some of those places are fairly lucrative and they specialize in government leases, but they have not responded to me other than to send me numbers. I asked for specific interest rates, and I haven't seen them. I was talking with our finance officer. If the interest rate on the lease program comes in at or less than what we are earning in the high interest savings accounts we have, I think it would be a better option for the tractor and income highway truck. on getting that. Okay, so we discussed a resolution previously to increase the salary for certain recreation employees. And we have a resolution prepared here tonight. Councilman Renninger, would you like to read that, please?
Town of Unionville, Town Board Resolution Number 48 of 2026, resolution authorizing an increase in salary for recreation assistants. Whereas Jean Marie Ludwig and Catherine D'Angelo were previously hired as recreation assistants for the summer 2026 season at the rate of $17.50 per hour. And whereas the recreation director has made a request to increase their salary from $17.50 per hour to $18 per hour for the summer of 2026 season. And whereas the town board of the town of Unionville has agreed to increase the salaries of Jean Marie Ludwig and Catherine D'Angelo from $17.50 per hour to $18 per hour for the summer 2026 season. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. 1, the recitations above set forth are incorporated in this resolution as if fully set forth and adopted herein. 2, the town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes an increase in the salary for Jean Marie Ludwig and Catherine D'Angelo from $17.50 per hour to $18 per hour for the summer 2026 season. 3, this salary increase shall be retroactive to the start date of May 30th, 2026 for Jean Marie Ludwig and June 8th, 2026 for Catherine D'Angelo. And 4, the town supervisor and bookkeeper are hereby authorized and directed to file any and all documents with the Dutchess County Department of Human Resources to effectuate the terms of this resolution.
Second on that? Any discussion? Just for the residents, these two employees were given additional duties in their positions from the time they were initially hired, and it's less than $300 impact to the budget, and that money is available in the budget. So minimal impact to anyone, and works for good morale among the employees. Roll call vote, please.
Aye.
Councilman
Aye.
Mr. Frazier,
Aye.
Givney.
Aye.
Councilman
Aye.
Okay, thank you. Okay, we had this discussion previously as well. I do monthly sign-offs on the balances of all the accounts here in town, and it had bothered me that we had one that was negative balance, and worked with both the our accountant and the attorney here and came up with a resolution to bring all these in check. Some projects had already been completed as well. And the funding is still tied up in those accounts. This kind of frees things up for us to use where they, can actually do something for us. So, Councilman Derlin, would you mind reading that number 49, please?
Town of Unionville Town Board Resolution Number 49 of 2026, resolution transferring funds and closing the HB recycling booth capital project. Whereas the town of Unionville created a capital project improvement bank account titled NY Class H452 Capital Improvement Account, which contains numerous internal sub-accounts for monitoring various capital projects. Where the capital project sub-account was created on or about December 29th, 2021 for the HB recycling booth project. And whereas on or about June 30th, 2023, the capital project was completed, the account was overspent by $1,068.96. And whereas the town board of the town of Unionville would like to transfer the amount of $1,068.96 from general fund budget line number A200 to the HB recycling booth sub-account within NY Class H452 capital improvement account in order to zero out HB recycling booth project. And whereas town board of the town of Unionville intends to close out the capital project sub-account for the HB recycling project once the account has been zeroed out. Now therefore be it resolved as follows. Specifications above set forth are incorporated in this resolution as fully set forth and adopted herein. The town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes the transfer of $1,068.96 general fund budget A200 to the HB recycling booth sub-account within NY class H452 capital improvement account. Town board of the town of Unionville hereby authorizes the closure of the HB recycling booth account once the transfer has taken place and the sub-account. Town supervisor and bookkeeper are hereby authorized and directed to do any and all documents necessary to effectuate.
Second on that? Any discussion? Okay, roll call vote, please.
Councilman Harrington. Councilman Bettinger. Supervisor Frazier.
Aye.
Councilman Gibney. Councilman Durley.
Hey, thank you. We received the proceeds from the surplus sale of the highway equipment. Speaking with the attorney, we determined we should have a resolution to move those funds into the highway equipment reserve account. So we have this resolution here for that purpose. Councilman McGivney, would you mind reading that one, please?
Town of Unionville Town Board Resolution for 56, resolution authorized transfer of additional funds to highway equipment reserve. Whereas the town 19 established highway equipment reserve fund pursuant to this state of New York. So the highway needs to like it's supported by resolution 25/6 declared certain highway department surplus authorized its sale at public, whereas the surplus equipment was sold. Proceeds from the sale of $31,040 is to be deposited in the equipment reserve. The acquisition of replacement equipment. Sale
Second on that? Any discussion? Roll call vote, please.
Councilman Harrington.
Aye.
Thank you. That brings us to public comment on town issues. Anyone? Just name and address, please. Just, would you mind tipping that up? Yeah. thank you.
61 Pleasant Ridge Extension. All right, I just want to thank the people that the town will clean up in April. We have another one, but people need to realize it's there, and they're putting their cans out night before. They're not putting bungee cords on them, and the bears are hitting things. And we do need another roadside cleanup. The other thing is, I don't know if I'm sure everyone's thinking of Uniondale. He's been missing since Sunday, and nobody knows where he is. Another thing is we've had a lot of hot weather. I think people need to realize you cannot put and leave them anyway. Dog can die in 6 minutes in 90-degree weather. need to wake up and it just recently happened, so that's why I'm bringing it up. I just hope they use their heads. The other thing is the storm outage. I'm just want to let that they can claim for their food if you were out 72 hours or more, which we were. Oh, on the mountain anyway. You can get, I think it's $235 without any photos, without anything. Of the plus, find out what the prices are, whatever store, and send it to them. Bring the storm back. I tried to contact different people. Of course, the cell service was out. I stuck on the mountain. I'm not going to go around down the mountain and get stuck in wires and everything. So I just stayed up there. We had no knowledge anything until Monday. I called Andy and I teenagers doubt they left and didn't with their families. So by then it was too late, like I said. Finally, I did find out that too. They went there, they were back. Did I guess some of them didn't, but I'm glad I didn't take that chance. Really, for the 75 hours, I didn't see a central. Monday, Tuesday after. To me, a little unacceptable. They do have their districts, their 5 districts. I know all of that. And there could have been done, I feel. They were restoring areas that had 54 people out and 200 people out. We were the last to be restored. And I think there needs to be more of a protocol and, you know, preventative maintenance as well from the state, county, central Hudson, local municipalities need to check these roads for dead trees that are going to come down. You know, I know that live trees came down also, but I'm saying for the next time, we really need to check on these roads, preventative maintenance. There's dead wood everywhere, and these people that want wood go along the road, but they're not cleaning them up. They're just leaving them on the side of the road, which is a safety issue as well. So I just wanted to come for public safety.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, motion to pay the bills, please. Second? All in favor? Opposed? All right, thank you. Entertain a motion to move into executive session for legal advice from our attorney on 2 contracts.
You already did that. Can you make that motion?
No. We moved.
Just to move it. Yeah, I'll make that motion.
There was a second? All in favor? Opposed? Okay, we will be moving into executive session. That ends the business portion of our meeting tonight. We will not be making any decisions after that. Our next meeting will be here August 5th at 7:30 PM. We'll return as soon as we're finished across the hall.